Sand is
Yeah.
important for drainage. So now you're limiting your ability for mineral production in the silt and the clay. So now you're down to what, 10%?
Yeah, because you're making more like a super soil than a true A horizon.
Correct. And again, it had no effect on his yields. He did have a pH difference, but it only just showed up as spots on his leaves. So again, we're studying this. Like, he's supposed to come on sometime soon to talk about. I believe he's halfway or 3/4 or maybe fully through that run where he made those adjustments. But he promised to come back on, do some testing, and then come back on and talk about what changed or how it's working, and give us some.
I've reached out, and I'm going to try to have him on next Monday. We're going to try. We do have Josh from Yellow Skunk Farms coming on in 2 weeks' time to talk about how he built his horizontal system, and it has his second run is absolutely amazing. His turtles, they're doing great, but if we're changing these percentages in some ways, yes, it's working for Tom, but we could end up having situations further down the line that that's where the experimentation comes in. But we've mentioned a few times or had a few shows with people doing biochar, and I know Dirt Right, who we had on a little while ago, in his system, he put in a lot of the biochar. Is this something that that it's really newer than from when you built this originally? Would you want to put that biochar in, as a percentage, or would you want to add it in to your organic matter layer?
I would add it into the organic matter, to be honest with you. I mean, yeah,
Okay.
it's great for biology to set up shop on it. But again, at the end of the day, you want it in the root zone, not like, not that the roots aren't going to get down to the A, but bottom line is the top 8 inches is where most of the magic happens.
Yeah.
The vast majority of the magic happens in that top 8 inches. So if you want to add biochar, I would add it into the O horizon. It's long-term carbon, right? I like short-term carbon. I like dissolved organic matter. That is a dissolved organic carbon. That's the chocolate water. I actually have a bottle of it right over there, but I'm not going to bother.
Josh wanted to tell us it's his 4th run in his system, by the way.
Yeah, looking forward to catching up with you again, buddy, when you come on. But anyway, back to the question. So biochar, yeah, in the O horizon for sure. And I would, if I'm a first time going about this, I would stick to the original formula, because I've had no complaints whatsoever until Tom ran into that spot. And again, it didn't affect the yield, it didn't affect the quality, it just affected the plant in a weird way. And his pH was a little bit lower than it was supposed to be in that horizon. But that could be due to the cultivar. I don't know. There's a lot of questions involved there, and we'll know more when we get him on the show. But again, give him time to get all those testing in and make sure that he's through his run, so we will have good information to share.
Okay, perfect.